Okay, so today what I want to show you is my tips for taking the Coast Guard written exams and do it in less than 30 days and ace the exam. So let's see. Let me bring this bigger so you can see it better. Here we go. So let's hide the slide bar. So basically the first thing you want to do is you want to memorize the online module after you purchase the online module. And the questions and also the answers. And believe me, memorizing the answers without the question is kind of silly, so you have to memorize both. Pay a special attention to daymarks, because the daymarks are like in triangles, in cones, in uh, balls, in sphere, and in non-buoy, all kinds of shapes of marks for during the day to guide the ships to safely sail through or cruise through the river or lake. And it's quite confusing. It's like what does three red balls or three red balls on a ship? What does that mean? Or two red balls. What does that mean? Or and the next thing is like two lights. What does it mean to have two yellow lights or one yellow light on a ship during in at nighttime, and also the horns, whistles, long prolonged horns, or one sound, or so they pay special attention, or the quick short horn sounds, and also this compass, true versus magnetic north, the true version make dull companion. So memorize this so you can do the conversion of the variations and the deviations when you do the charting, when you do the map, charting the map. And and there's still many others like life vets, personal life vets, ranked or categorized by type 1 to type 4, which one is, and also the fire extinguishers, type A, B, C, D, and actually fire extinguishers are categorized as type 1 through 5. And 1 and 2 are portable, 3, 4, 5 semi-portable, I think. Anyway, so those are the typical questions and answers you want to memorize. And then the second step is you want to repeat the online questions at least 3 times until you can get at least 90%, or even more. Obviously for the most more difficult modules, you want to repeat it more than 3 times, because like the daymarks, I actually did it 6 times until I memorized the questions and the answers. The third thing is familiar yourself with Long Island Sound chart map. For those of you who live in New York and New Jersey area, Long Island Sound is in Connecticut, or even Maine, New Hampshire area. I mean, Long Island Sound is pretty easy for you guys because it's you live there, the area. You boat and cruise up there. For those of us who are down here in DC, or even further south, South Carolina or North Carolina, Long Island Sound chart map is just not something we are familiar with. So if you're preparing and taking the course from learning's mariner's learning system, then you have to try to familiar yourself with these with the Long Island Sound chart, and pay attention to the inlet, the name of the inlets. Try to remember which corner they're in, and the rivers, which corners they're in on the map, and the lighthouses, and the footnotes, and symbols on the map. And the last thing is, do not panic if you see the questions not in the online modules. And I did see 2 or 3 out of 10 questions. I need 70% to pass on the final module, the chart plotting or the map plotting. So I got nervous, but don't just calm down, because you got plenty of time to do all 4 modules in 4 hours, and that's a lot, plenty of time. So remain calm, and then just skip it and come back to do it later, and circle back to check all the answers at least once before you submit the. Let me bring this sidebar back, because I want to show you this last page. Let's see, here we go. And then I want to hide the sidebar to make this bigger. So check all your answers before submitting the final question to the results to the exam proctor. And if I have to do it again, and that's why these are the tips for you, take the master captain license instead of the OUPV, the operator of the uninspected passenger vessels, for 6-pack. Why? 2 reasons. Number 1 is you can take more than 6 paying passengers. Number 2, you can go 200 miles offshore instead of just 100 miles offshore. For the most of us inland fishermen, 100 miles offshore is already plenty. And you really need twin engine or 3 engines or 4 engines, and 100 horsepower at least for 2 engines in the back of your boat in order to go that far in a reasonable time. To go 200 miles in my boat, which top speed clock out at 30 miles an hour, I'm gonna have to do it in 3 hours just to go 100 miles offshore. And you can imagine, for 200 miles offshore, you have to go 6 hours, on my tiny 90 horsepower Johnson, to go that far. I have to, just each way I have to travel 6 hours. That's precious fishing time. That's a day gone. Just going out to the offshore to fish the tuna and stuff. So 12 hours on the road is just not worth it. So you really have to double up, quadruple up your engine power so that you can go faster to get to the destination. Something like a twin engine for 300 horsepower each or 200 horsepower each, and then you can go like, I don't know, 100 miles an hour, or at least 80 miles an hour, and then you get there in 3 hours, and then come back and spend another 3 hours to come back. For 100 miles you can probably do it in an hour or less, or maybe a little bit over an hour if you have 300 horsepower in your boat. Anyway, so those are the things that I would do if I have to do it again. Oh, the other thing is, I'm going to show you this. Okay, here's another thing I want to show you. Let's go to Instagram, my Instagram account. NJFishing11. Right here. And this one. So you can see this is what the captain license course comparison for Mariner's learning system as of January 2018. And you can see the price here. You got the OUPV 6-pack captain's license, the deluxe version, $595. The digital version is $495. So the difference is $100. For me, if I have to redo it again, I'll just buy the digital edition and save the $100 difference there. Just have the online module and go through the 4 modules, online exams, to help me prep, and the books, the hard copy books are just not totally needed for me to pass, and the parallel ruler and divider actually costs less than $50, and so you save the $50 and more, save $50 and more by buying just the digital edition. And the difference between these two are the hard copy books, as well as the two tools, the parallel ruler and the divider, are included in the deluxe version. And if I have to do it again, so the first thing I'll do, I'll buy the digital edition. The second thing I'll do is I'll buy the master captain license, the digital edition, which is $695, which is $200 more, as you can see here. But if you did what I did, which is $600 here, and you want the upgrade to the master so that you can drive 200 hours offshore and take more than 6 paying passengers, then you have to get the upgrade, which is $275 instead of the $200 difference between the $795, $595, or the $695, $495. The deluxe, that difference is even a lot, difference is even bigger. And these two are good to have if you need to tow somebody's boat for a fee, for you want to charge somebody to tow their boat, and you need a endorsement from Coast Guard for towing. And if you want to do sailing, and you need to get this Coast Guard endorsement for selling as well, and that's another for digital edition. That's another $100. Otherwise, it's $125. I mean, this company does offer other license, like the deck license and all the other license. Just go to their website. But I don't need any of those, so I'm not explaining those to you, but just go there and look. So first thing, if I have to redo it again, the first thing I'll do is I'll buy the digital edition and get the parallel ruler and divider, instead of buying the deluxe edition, and get the hard copy books, because you really don't need to study the books in order to pass them. And the second thing is maybe I'll just skip this 6-packs and just go to buy this digital edition, which is $695, get my master captain license, and either one of these I may or may not, to take them. So there you have it.